Excellency, sorry. Your Excellency, Dame Paulette Louise, Governor General of St. Lucia, the Honorable Prime Minister of Grenada and Carriacou, the Honorable Keith Mitchell, the Honorable Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, the Honorable Timothy Harris, the former Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Sir James Mitchell, Mr. Yann Monplaisy, the Honorable Yann Monplaisy, Vice President of Martinique, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Your Excellency, Robert Rivas, Archbishop, and other members of the clergy, members of the United Workers' Party, and I've been looking forward for a very long time to say, Ministers of Cabinet, I salute you all this evening. This evening is a very, very important milestone and step in my new government. It was very important for us this evening that we continued something that we started some months ago, and that of the People's Parliament. When we had that meeting in the Boulevard, where we came to debate the Parliament, the budget in the People's Parliament, many people attribute that beginning of the campaign. And the campaign quickly became the People's Campaign. And I felt it would have been wrong of us as a new government to forget where we came from. We would all not be standing here today taking the oath of allegiance to St. Lucia if it were not for you, and I thank you. It was also important that this ceremony take place here in the South. The South has suffered for a very long time. The highest level of unemployment and the highest level of poverty, but yet the greatest opportunity for growth. And I'm here, and my government is here to say to you that we see you, we hear you, we are with you, and we will make this thing change together. I am deeply touched and humbled by the outpouring of public, regional, and international support for the victory of United Workers' Party. We are truly thankful for this opportunity to serve you, the citizens of St. Lucia. I wish to thank my colleague parliamentarians for reposing their confidence in me. As Prime Minister, I pledge to be firm but sensitive and responsive to the views and concerns of the population. We shall be hardworking but a caring government. I am eager and excited to get started on the task of building a new nation. The challenges are immense, but with the support of the masses and the goodwill that we are enjoying among the regional and international community, I am satisfied that in a short order we will make a major dent in the many of the social and economic problems besetting this country. I seek to rebuild and promote the St. Lucia brand. As a nation and as a people, we must lean heavily on those qualities and characteristics that made us a unique Caribbean civilization. If nothing more, I wish to be remembered as the Prime Minister that brought back the pride and sense of identity to St. Lucians. We absolutely have to build this brand together. I want to say to St. Lucians that the confidence in us is well placed. We are committed to implementing the promises made from our platforms and our manifesto. I am eager to sit with the technical officials in the Ministry of Finance to get a thorough grasp of an appreciation for the true state of our economy. We shall not embark upon a witch hunt, but we wish to know exactly what obtained as of June 6, 2016. Once this process is completed, we shall share our findings with the public, and craft an action plan for tackling problems of the greatest concern to the population. I want to make clear that all along the way, we shall pursue a principle of great cooperation and collaboration with our social partners, particularly labor and the business sector. I wish to thank the people of St. Lucia once again for reposing their confidence in me, and by extension, the members of my party and now your cabinet of ministers. I thank my family, in particular my wife and my children. Sorry. I thank my father and my mother for all their blessings. I thank my two sisters and my brother, and I thank all the friends that I've met along the way who've given a lending hand, a lending support, and to say to all of them how much I appreciate your confidence. We said we would not go about governing this country in the same way. We recognize this is not working for all St. Lucians. Too many people are having to go to bed at night struggling just to basically survive. I've repeatedly said, this is not the St. Lucian way. We must try a new approach. Like the economic zones that we've outlined in our manifesto, we want to govern with a focus. So I hope that you recognize today that we have cut the number of ministries from 14 to 8. And we have created clusters of teams to be able to focus and deal with the critical issues facing our country. The core ministries of health, education, housing, justice, and also social transformation, which we have now renamed to be social justice and empowerment. These ministries must be governed and managed with compassion, with heart, and with a soul. We must look to empower and advance the skills of the people of our country and make them globally competitive for today's world. I hope you also would have appreciated that the #1 issue facing our country is unemployment. So we felt it was important to name my ministry the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. And to be able to achieve that task, I've invited some young men who I believe are particularly skilled in that area. I am delighted that Eubaldus Raymond has accepted to be my Minister of Finance. I'm ecstatic that a person like Bradley Felix, after being so many years in the banking industry, would agree to take on commerce, trade, manufacturing, and investment. And I'm overwhelmed and delighted that I will have Dominique Fede as my Minister of Tourism and Broadcasting. These gentlemen are full-fledged ministers, and we will be working together to make sure that we deliver on the economic growth and the jobs that this country needs. And we shall be reminded every day, because on the letterhead of every single letter that we sent out will say, job creation. The words that I'm asking these gentlemen, and I include in that list the Minister of Agriculture and the Minister of State of Agriculture, Mr. Jimmy Henry, that the words competitive, productivity, and capacity must become common to us every single day. Because if we are not competitive, we will not be able to sell our bananas, we'll not be able to sell our beverages, and we'll not be able to get more people to visit our shores. If we are not productive, then we are not going to be competitive. And if we don't work on our capacity, we're not going to be able to generate sufficient income to fulfill all the needs and desires and the dreams of all St. Lucians. So the Ministry of Agriculture and also my ministry are going to be focused on job creations in this country. I am delighted and overwhelmed that Dr. Gail T.C. Rigobert would have agreed to take on the Ministry of Education. And I'm even more delighted that she came up with the fact that she was going to put in innovation, because it is innovation that is going to change this country. We must recognize that the greatest asset we have is our intelligence. Intellectual property rights know no boundaries. The single largest business in the Caribbean has been Bob Marley, and it was his music and his lyrics that transcended the world. I know the next Bob Marley will come here from St. Lucia, and with Gail T.C. Rigobert, I know that with her fortitude and her vision, that she will make sure that our education system is transformed and that we truly are delivering a globally competitive education to our children. A lady I got to know very late in life, a woman, and excuse me, my wife, I apologize for saying this, a woman who I've come to love and appreciate and adore so very much. A woman who seems so quiet and so understated, yet every task you give her, she delivers. And we have given her an awesome task. And we had to choose somebody that not only had the capacity to be able to deliver, but a person that truly was compassionate, a person that truly had heart, and a person that had a way to empathize with the people of our country. And I speak of Mary Isaac as your Minister of Health. I'm also delighted that the Honorable Stevenson King and the Honorable Sarah Flood Boburn, who were both former Ministers of Health, will work with us hand in hand to make sure that we can deliver on a healthcare insurance program, that all St. Lucians will have affordable, quality healthcare. And regardless of your status in life, you will never have to be concerned about healthcare in your country. There's a gentleman that has dedicated his life to policing. A man who I know is inspired to make a difference in his country. A man that has only longed for the opportunity to be able to give to his country what he thinks it so rightly deserves. And I'm so glad that he accepted the task of taking on the justice system, legal affairs, and home affairs, and that is Mr. Herman Gill Francis. Without a doubt, and I share no apologies, but if I had the choice to be in a ministry, it really would be in that new ministry that is headed up by Spider Leonard Montoux. That ministry is about social justice in this country. That ministry is about empowering our young people by using our creative industry, by using culture, and by inspiring our sportsmen to be excellent at everything that they do. That is about developing local government and integrating our societies in order for them to be empowered. And we have put together what I think is a team of par excellence, and that is with the incredible experience, administrative experience of Fortuna Belrose, and the practical experience as a sports person and a man who has committed his whole life to the young people of this country, and that is in Mr. Edmund Estefan. I have to tell you that it was very, very difficult to meet with the former Prime Minister of St. Lucia, the Honorable Stephenson King, and to sit with him and to decide how we could work together and what task that he could undertake to best give to his country. And I think when you look at the Honorable Stephenson King's experience throughout his life and what he has brought and the dignity that he has delivered it with, at this stage, to be able to now get involved in the infrastructure, the ports, and energy and labor of this country, I could not think of a better person to take on that undertaking. This country must go through a massive physical transformation, whether it be cast trees, whether it be our highways, whether it be our dams, whether it be our airports. And I couldn't think of a better person to be by my side, working with me, and to make this happen than the Honorable Stephenson King. It's an honor, sir. And last not but least is that Guy Joseph is a worker. And something many of you may not have known about Guy Joseph is that while he was a minister in our former government, he put himself through school and got a bachelor's degree. And he's recently now completed his master's degree. I salute you, Guy Joseph. For Guy Joseph, there are two fundamental things. One, his passion to see his country do well. And all of a sudden now to be involved in the economic planning of our country, I know that he's going to do that with great dignity and dedication. But the one thing I am looking forward to him, because it's something that we've spoken about for a very long time, is the revolution that we need in housing in this country. And I know that he too has in his heart and his soul, and it affects him every single time that he goes to people's homes and sees a pit latrine outside. In 2016, that can be no more. You cannot have 6 and 7 people living in one house. And if people cannot afford to fix these things themselves, Guy Joseph, United Workers' Party, and your government will make it happen. Minister Joseph will also be involved in transportation and civil aviation, and that he's going to be ably helped by a young man who I am so inspired by, who ran an incredible campaign, my brother from Soufrière Foncé Jacques, and that is Mr. Herod Stanislaus. I want to say to all of us tonight, we have said repeatedly in this campaign, change begins with you. And tonight, we have delivered on that promise, that the change has begun today by having this event here in Vieux Fort amongst the people. By sending a loud, resounding message to the regional organizations, the international organizations, to the lenders of this country, to the people who've invested in this country. We are going to make this the best place to live, the best place to work, the best place to invest, and the best place to visit. And we are going to do it by being a responsible government. In meeting with the Ministry of Finance, I have told them that I immediately want to redo the budget, and we must have a surplus budget. We cannot continue to borrow money and put our young people in debt before they even get out of high school. But I want to say that that change also came from all the people, the men and women that you see on this stage tonight, who were able to put their own self-interest aside and focus on the country, and to come in with a structure that has never been done before, and to be able to deliver a resounding message that this is a government of responsibility, this is a government that is focused on bringing prudence back to this country. And I want to say to all of you tonight, I salute all of you. I am proud to say that you are my colleagues. So, ladies and gentlemen, the work begins. And so at this point, I want to also acknowledge in our midst, to tell you how serious I am, is that, and I want to thank her very, very much, and that is Michelle Page and her colleagues she's the president of the Florida Caribbean Cruise Association, and she's here with us tonight. And some of my colleagues are meeting with her tonight, and the rest of us, Mr. Stevenson King, Guy Joseph, and Dominique Fady, will be meeting with her tomorrow to show her where we want to have the new pier, cruise ship pier in Vieux Fort. We also want to revive the program that we started so many years ago with Michelle and her colleagues in order to allow solutions to get jobs on the cruise ships. And people keep saying, are we going to cut nice? And I kept on saying, no, but we will change it. So instead of nice workers going to work in ministries in which they have no hope of ever getting a job, we will continue to pay those nice workers, and for them to use that money to pay the tuition, to get the training, for them to be able to get a job on the cruise ship, and for them to be able to take care of themselves and their families. But more importantly, those empty factory shells that are there, we are going to put a school right there so that you don't have to go up north to take those classes to get the training. The training will come to you. this cabinet and your Prime Minister will not rest, will not sleep until we turn it around. And we are committed to making sure that St. Lucia can be the best place. I thank all of you for your love, for your support, but most importantly, I thank you for your prayers, and I thank the Lord for his divine intervention. Thank you.
If ever there was a transformational speech, this was it.